Lila Morgan had always been the quiet one. She kept her head down in the hallways of Crestwood High, books clutched tightly to her chest, her messy brown hair falling over her face like a curtain. Most people barely noticed her. That was the way she liked it, at least, it was safer that way. But in high school, different is all it takes to become a target. And for Lila, that target had been painted on her back since freshman year. Her father, Captain James Morgan, didn't know the full extent of what she went through. To him, she was his sweet little girl who loved reading and sketching flowers in her notebook. He was the leader of the local SWAT unit, a man trained to handle the most dangerous situations imaginable. But he couldn't be everywhere at once. And lately, his job kept him away from home more than he liked. On this gray, cold Tuesday morning, Lila hoped to slip through the day unnoticed. But the bullies had other plans. Madison, the queen bee of the sophomore class, had been watching her for weeks, looking for the perfect moment to humiliate her. And in between classes, when the hallway was almost empty, she found it. "Hey, freak," Madison sneered, grabbing Lila's arm. Two other girls flanked her, Brianna and Kayla, both wearing smirks sharp enough to cut. Lila tried to pull away, mumbling, I have to get to class." "Oh, we'll get you there," Madison said, her voice dripping with false sweetness. "But first, we need to take care of that ugly sweater you love so much." Before Lila could react, they yanked her toward the girls' bathroom. Her books spilled to the floor, pages crumpling, but none of the passing students stopped to help. That was the worst part, being invisible when you needed someone the most. Inside the bathroom, the harsh fluorescent lights buzzed overhead. The bullies cornered her against the sinks. Madison grabbed Lila's sweater collar. "This thing looks like it came from a trash can. Maybe we should help you freshen up." Lila's heart pounded in her ears. She wanted to scream, but her voice caught in her throat. The girls laughed, pulling at her clothes, shoving her toward the stalls. Tears stung her eyes, she was trapped. What none of them knew was that, just a few rooms away, Captain Morgan and his SWAT team were running a live training exercise in the school's old gym. It was meant to prepare for hostage situations and active threats. The timing, as fate would have it, couldn't have been more perfect. Challenge 1, no one hears her cry for help. Lila tried to shout, "Stop," but the echo of the bathroom swallowed her voice. The door was closed, and the laughter of the bullies drowned out her pleas. She thought about her dad, how he always told her to stand up for herself. But right now, she felt so small, so powerless. Meanwhile, in the gym, Captain Morgan was briefing his team when Officer Ramirez, stationed near the hallway, heard something faint, something that didn't belong in a quiet school corridor. A muffled thud. A stifled sob. "Cap," Ramirez whispered, "I think something's going on." Morgan's instincts flared instantly. "Where?" "Girls' bathroom, East Wing." Challenge 2, SWAT's hesitation, is it an actual threat or not? They were supposed to be running a simulation, not engaging in real-life interventions. But Morgan knew the sound of fear when he heard it. And this wasn't part of any drill. "Team," he said sharply, "we move. Low profile. Now." The squad approached quietly, boots nearly silent on the polished floor. Morgan's heart was pounding, not because of danger, but because deep down, he feared the girl in trouble might be his own. Back in the bathroom. Madison shoved Lila toward the far stall. "Let's see how you like walking around in wet clothes," she laughed, holding a water bottle ready to dump. Lila's knees trembled. "Please, just stop," she whispered, her voice breaking. But the more she pleaded, the more they enjoyed it. Then came the sound, the sharp, commanding voice that froze everyone in place. "Police! Step away from her!" The door slammed open. 6 armored figures filled the frame, weapons drawn, not aiming to harm, but enough to send a jolt of terror through the bullies. And at the front was Captain Morgan. Emotional turning point. For a moment, Lila didn't register that it was her dad. She just saw the powerful figure in black gear, helmet under his arm, eyes blazing with protective fury. Madison stammered, we didn't, but the words died in her throat. Morgan's voice was ice. "Hands where I can see them. Now." The girls backed away, shaking. The SWAT officers moved in, separating them from Lila, who stood frozen, tears streaking her cheeks. "Lila," her father said softly now, crossing the space between them. "Are you hurt?" She shook her head, but her lip quivered. "Dad. I. You're safe," he said, pulling her into his arms. "No one will ever hurt you like this again. Not while I'm here." Challenge 3, facing the aftermath. The principal was called. Parents were notified. Madison and her crew faced immediate suspension, with possible criminal charges for assault. But the real battle for Lila was inside, learning to trust again, to feel safe walking into school without scanning every corner for danger. Her father offered to transfer her to another school, but she refused. "If I leave, they win," she said quietly. So they made a plan. The school arranged a peer support group. Lila's dad started teaching her basic self-defense, not because he wanted her to fight, but because he wanted her to know she could protect herself. Slowly, Lila began to change. She walked taller. She spoke louder. She even made friends, real friends, who stood by her side. And one day, when she saw another freshman being cornered by a different group of bullies, she stepped in. "Leave her alone," she said firmly. And for the first time, the bullies backed off without a fight. Inspiring ending. Months later, during a school assembly on bullying prevention, Lila stood on stage with her father. She told her story not with trembling hands, but with confidence. "Sometimes," she said, "help comes when you least expect it. But other times, you have to be your own hero. And that's what I want for all of you, to be strong, to be kind, and to stand up when it matters." The auditorium erupted in applause. Her father stood beside her, proud beyond words. And as they walked off stage, he whispered, "You've always been my hero, Lila." Call to action for your channel: be kind always. If this story touched your heart, I want to hear from you. Speech balloon, drop a comment below and share your thoughts. Have you ever stood up to a bully, or had someone stand up for you? And if you believe in kindness, courage, and standing up for what's right, make sure you hit the like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss another story here on Be Kind Always. Remember, kindness is power. And power can change the world. Globe showing Europe, Africa, blue heart.